The Story Blanket by Ferida, Wolff, Harriet May Savitz, and illustrated by Odriozola. Deep in the snow-covered mountains was the tiny village where Baba Zara lived. The children loved to settle down on Baba Zara's big old story blanket to listen to her stories. One day, Baba Zara noticed that there was a hole in Nikolai's shoe. When the children left, she decided to knit Nikolai some nice warm socks. But so much snow had fallen that winter that no one could get through to the village to deliver wool. How could she knit socks without wool? "Every question has an answer," said Baba Zara. "I just have to think of it." She poured herself a glass of sweet tea to help her think. Before she had taken 3 sips, Baba Zara knew what to do. "I will unravel a little story blanket and use the wool for Nikolai's socks," she says. Late at night, when everyone was asleep, Baba Zara trekked through the snow and left the socks on Nikolai's doorstep. Soon after, the postman found a scarf wrapped around his mailbag when he left to start his morning rounds. "Do you know who made it?" he asked everyone he met, but no one did. The schoolmaster was surprised to find a pair of warm mittens on the woodpile when he brought in wood for the school stove. Miss Ivanov flapped the ravens from her wash with the new knitted apron she discovered beside her water pump. Before long, the grocer was wearing a new shawl instead of the moth-eaten one she used to have. The children had to sit closer on the blanket when they came for a story. Day by day, the villagers grew more curious. Baby Olga received a mysterious new soft blanket, and the butcher showed off a fancy woolen cap that covered his shiny bald head. The children were now squashed together on a very small story blanket. The confusion grew when the tailor's scraggly cat suddenly showed up, purring and grand in a snug cat coat. There was no blanket left to sit on. The villagers asked the mayor to help solve the mystery. "You know what Baba Zara always says," the mayor replied. "Every question has an answer." When the children saw the socks, the scarf, the mittens, the apron, the shawl, the cap, the baby blanket, and the cat, and all her coat, and all together, they shouted, "It looks like Baba Zara's old story blanket." "But she doesn't have it any more," said Nikolai. "Aha," said the mayor. "Baba Zara used the wool in her blanket to make these. Now it's our turn to give Baba Zara a surprise." So, while Baba Zara slept, a few rows of wool were unraveled from every blanket in every household and left on Baba Zara's doorstep. Baba Zara was amazed when she opened her front door in the morning. She had never seen so much wool, so many colors, and on top of it all was a sign. The next time the children went to Baba Zara's for a story, there was a colorful new blanket to sit on, and a tale about a village where everyone shared with each other. As she hugged the children goodbye, Baba Zara noticed a hole in Alexandra's sweater. She wanted to knit Alexandra a surprise, but the snow was still on the hills, and no wool was to be had anywhere in the village. Baba knew that every question had an answer. She looked at her new story blanket and smiled.